again, YouTube. This is Dr. Kendo, and we're here with some more Scribblenauts Unmasked. This is the Hero Creator Commentaries. Please note that the last video I said, I'm taking all object requests on that video and that video only, and after that, I won't be doing any more. So that means right now, at 21 or 22 seconds or wherever it is that I'm saying this, know that I am not taking item requests, and that means that I'm stopping the taking of item requests for about a year. This is because I have about 90-something or 100 requests to get to that's gonna take me an entire year to get to. So even if I took a request, it's like it's not gonna get done for a whole year, so honestly, everyone should be okay with the fact that I'm not taking requests. So it's probably clear what we're making here because you've got such a distinctive shape when I was editing this kid, and I'm using Mox, which is one of Maxwell's brothers. He has over 40 siblings, so you know that there's many of them, and they are all usable in Scribblenauts Unmasked in the editor. I've got a few nasal problems, a little bit of a cough, but overall, that sickness that I had a while back is getting better, so that's good news, right? But this creation right here is Finn, because today we're making Finn and Jake from Adventure Time. It was requested by Joshua Moran, Robert Rattray, Join the Monkey Navy, Justin Faria, Sonic-2002, Joshua Lovering, Super DJ 1100, Luigi Gamer 1231, The Noob Guy 21, Computer Cat, and Alden Steffi Ross. And so, of course, we've made an oval for his face. The shape is called capsule for those little ears and for the socks that I gave to Finn. I guess, I haven't seen the show Adventure Time ever. I did do my research to some degree. I hope you guys have been enjoying that I do a little bit of research about the characters to give maybe some fun facts or information in case you didn't know about them. But from what I've read, and without ever even seeing the show Adventure Time, Finn is our main protagonist of the show and seems to have been abandoned in the woods while he was an infant. And apparently after making what he called boom boom on a huge leaf, he fell on it and he laid there until Joshua and Margaret, Jake's parents, basically adopted him and raised him alongside Jake. So our boy Finn here wears a hat with two ears, quote unquote, that stick out at the top. And I've read that this hat is actually inspired by a character called Bueno, who is a bear that appears in comics made by Pendleton Ward, the creator of Adventure Time. Finn is the last human in the land, which gives prestige to the official title of Finn the Human. And he's apparently about 5 feet tall and is 15 years old. Because he bites trees and rocks and things, he's missing several teeth from his mouth, and that's why I made it only with a few teeth there. I used dots for the teeth. And of course, in Scribblenauts Unlimited, you can use all of these same scripts, these same objects and everything. I'm not using anything that's unique to Scribblenauts Unmasked. So for the few of you who do complain, oh, why aren't you doing this in Scribblenauts Unlimited? And then what's weird is that when I go to Scribblenauts Unlimited, and I did both of them in the Metal Sonic episode, I did both Scribblenauts Unlimited and Unmasked, and somebody was like, why did you go back to Unlimited? It's like, what am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? I guess people are just always gonna complain about something no matter what I do, and so I'll just leave that to the 10% of people, and 90% thank you for the support, because 90% of y'all are great and don't just complain about everything. It's just sad to see that from subscribers, you know? You subscribers are supposed to be the ones who support me, so that's why most of you were in good standing. But anyway, Finn the Human here, you can see all of these things, capsule is that little shape that's like a bar, as I said. Just use dots for the eyes, dots for the teeth and the tongue. For the mouth, basically just use any character's arm. In Scribblenauts Unlimited, you actually have those little crazy shapes and stuff. I use those shapes for like the snout of Sonic the Hedgehog and Tails and all them. So just use any of those crazy shapes that are in the 29-page general library. In this game, of course, they don't really have that library, so I just used a character. You could use like Rima, you could use Wanda, you could use any of those characters. I think Hula Dancer, is where the shape comes from in Scribblenauts Unlimited, but you can use like a hula dancer and use her, what would it be, left arm, I guess? And usually you can get that shape. Basically, you just need that kind of like almost smile shape, but basically just open mouth shape. And you can get that from most characters' arms. So there are many more scripts that you can feel free to do once you download or you create your own Finn and Jake objects in the game, but I'll scratch the surface with only a few scripts here, and please just feel free to comment and ask if you don't know how to make a particular script. But I made some scripts for where Finn is spawned on the levels. He'll have the adjectives brave and helpful because from what I've read, he seems really heroic and fearless. And now I also did a script for Go goes in water. And yes, I realized that in my Hero Creator introduction commentary, I mentioned that I didn't know if goes in water was in Scribblenauts Unlimited, but yes, I am 100% aware that it is. But anyway, when Finn goes in water here, we're actually going to remove the adjective brave and add the adjective scared. And I did that script because I read that there was like an episode where Finn has thalassophobia, which is an unexplained fear of the ocean. And so unfortunately, this will affect him for all bodies of water, but I think most of the bodies of water that are in Scribblenauts Unlimited are probably oceans or whatever, so it's all good. But we've started off with a kid again and used a stone for our next object. Of course, we're making Jake the dog, and I used a fortune cookie for his jowls, and we're using Tots, which is Maxwell's little baby brother, literally a baby. We're using Tots for the arms and the legs, and I've just used a dot for the nose here. So you can use probably several things for the body. I just figured any sort of roundish shape would probably be good if it's like more ovular. But I liked the stone here because there actually is kind of a chunk missing right there to the left side. What I'm going to do actually is add his ears on that, so it's going to kind of cover up that left side little chunk missing from his head. And we're using dots for the eyes. I may try a little bit later to use circles instead of dots. I'm just trying to see what this looks like and stuff because Jake, of course, has very circular big eyes. So anyway, while I'm making the edits here, I'll try to read off my Jake facts. Of course, Jake the dog is the other main character in the show Adventure Time. Jake, of course, is a magical dog with stretchy powers, and he's about 28 years old, apparently, in magical dog years. And I guess he doesn't act very mature, but we actually don't know how magical dog years translate into human years. So he could be like 6 years old or something. But I'm very happy about this because Jake is voiced by John DiMaggio, who is my #1 voice acting inspiration, as I feel like whenever I do voice acting, I can do a lot of the same deep-voiced or gruff kinds of characters that John DiMaggio often plays. And he actually has other huge voice credits, such as Bender, Earl, Randy, and more from Futurama, Draken from Kim Possible, and Captain Waka in Final Fantasy X, or 10, Beard Papa from Wreck-It Ralph, and so many others. I know them all, but I can't take the time that it would take to get into all of them here, because we have limited time. But while there have been times that Jake's stretchy powers have been used against his will, he usually has a great command over the ability by making his limbs transform into some kind of weapon, or just uses stretchy arms to tangle enemies up, and it actually seems to get quite intricate in that he can move his internal organs around to save him, etc., etc. So I am fascinated, actually, when I read a little bit more about Adventure Time and stuff. Even though I haven't seen the show, it doesn't mean that I don't like it, but I did always kind of think, oh, I probably wouldn't like that show, but after reading about it, I am kind of interested, actually. And the reason that we are actually doing these characters, I'm not sure if they have a video game or not. Of course, I'm only doing gaming-related characters, but the reason that if they don't have a video game, the reason that they're still on the list is actually because they were requested so long ago. So this should tell you something about how busy and how slow my process goes. If I only upload once a week and there's 52 weeks in a year and, you know, I have 90-something requests, that should tell you that obviously these requests are going to take a year or more. There are times where I can kind of throw out a special, or I can make more objects in one episode, or just upload more than once a week, but those times are kind of few and far between. So we've got our Jake here, and I want to be sure that there are some basic scripts. You know, again, I don't go too far into scripting on my commentaries. Again, I can't emphasize enough, please feel free to make your own scripts and things like that. You don't need to suggest what scripts I could have done. You can just make them yourself. So thank you for that, of course. I think we're gonna go ahead and try to see what Jake looks like with the circular eyes instead of using the dots. Whenever I look at pictures of my objects and stuff like that, sometimes I do need to go back and see, oh, it could look a little bit better if I did it like this. And so while I'm looking at this picture of Jake, he just has really big expressive eyes, and so I want to give him the circular ones, and the dots seem a little bit more oval shaped than what I would want. And so it's very interesting because his eyes, you know, it's like usually eyes for any kind of character are white and then black in the middle because of pupils, but Jake actually has black eyes on the outside and then white in the middle. So we're doing okay here. I'm just finishing up these last finishing touches on the eyes. It's looking pretty sweet, and we're almost done here. So there we go. Yeah, I definitely like the circles much better than that. And so we're going to make it so that people react to him as a dog. I forgot to edit that. But we'll go ahead and put them on the field here in the home of the Flash, which is Central City. Again, these creations are possible in Scribblenauts Unlimited and Scribblenauts Unmasked. So truthfully, I don't want to hear it if somebody's sad that I didn't do Unlimited in this video, because you could create the same exact damn character in Scribblenauts Unlimited that I just created here. Sorry to end on that note, but I love all of you who are supportive. I thank you you so much for that. You are what builds the foundation of Kendopolis, so thank you again. So my heart is kind of heavy with sadness that I have to give this last news, but I did want to say some get well messages for one of my subscribers, longtime subscriber, and is a really good guy. His name is Micro Zing. I actually made a birthday rap for him back when I was doing the birthday rap series, but recently he was actually hit by a semi-truck and he's in a coma now. And so I know one of his friends on YouTube, who they know each other in real life, and so I'm hoping that he'll take this episode and he'll play it over some speakers or something and let Micro Zing hear this. Maybe it'll just get through to him while he's in his coma, and we all hope that you come out and you make a recovery. But I feel really bad, and I really hope that you get well soon. So we're all thinking of you, and we're pulling for you, man. But anyway, everyone, of course, I will catch you on the next vid, and thanks for viewing.